Hi guys, Friday morning live from Beachlands. It's got a bit overcast here. My lighting has dimmed slightly, and I'm here today to extend a little bit more the conversation around self-care and the language that we use and how I see the language that we use about ourselves is that very foundation of self care. And it's not about trying to squeeze more stuff in to our busy lives, regardless of whether it's a good busy or a not so good busy. We need to be reframing, rewording, redefining the language that we use about ourselves. That is where our true power lies in taking charge of self care. That's the small stuff. And I was joking last night in my membership group, about what I shared last Friday, which was if we can't talk compassionately about ourselves, how the heck are we going to actually take any constructive action around self care if we can't pay attention to the words that we use about ourselves? What hope do we have of actually taking any constructive action to make stuff happen? And there's tons of examples around not necessarily really derogatory language around ourselves, but even the casual, oh, I'll try, or I'll have a think about it, or I might be able to squeeze it in, or I might be able to tackle it. That sort of language doesn't set us up to speak positively about ourselves, to take an empowering stance on our self care. And the other really important fact that I want to address is it's not about denying situations. It's not about, using affirmations and pretending that everything's all hunky dory and everything's rosy when it's not. We can still remain true to ourselves, true to our feelings. We can just take care in the language that we use. And the topic today that I thought was a brilliant starting point was something that I have shared with my group last night, and I wanted to expand on it because it was a brilliant starting point. I think it's a very good way to take notice of how we talk about ourselves. Because often when you say to people, what language do you use around yourself that is, destructive or not empowering? And you're sitting there thinking it's just habit and you can't actually recall it. Whereas if we talk about how do you accept compliments and what is your go-to response when somebody pays you a compliment, that's often a really good starting point for doing an audit on how you talk about yourself. How do you feel about yourself and the language that we use? And if you notice the quality of your language in your response to a compliment, it can be quite revealing. And we had some interesting discussions around that. And I know it's an area of interest to myself because obviously, as I have been more and more doing stuff in the limelight and being on stage, competing, having lots of photographs. I never thought I would be photographed so much. Thankfully, most of the feedback has been compliments, and I have learnt to accept the compliments. I have learnt to take them on board. I'm still a work in progress there. But the example that I wanted to reflect on was that the idea of somebody giving you feedback, for example, on the clothes that you're wearing, oh, I like your outfit. Now, my first encounter where somebody actually said that to me was when I was in the States 10 years ago, 2014. And I had these fantastic shorts that I'd bought here. I can't even remember where I'd got them because I'm not a great clothes shopper, as in going high street clothes shopping. And I just loved them. and I was out shopping somewhere with my friend wearing these shorts and this what I thought was a fairly basic, simple top. And this shop attendant said to me, did she say, I love your cute outfit? Which, and I felt like I was about 12. Perhaps she thought I was 12, I don't know. But yeah, I just remember being totally stunned because nobody here, I, nobody had ever complimented me in the street, a complete stranger, on the clothes that I was wearing. When I say in the street, in a shop. And I was quite stunned, and I don't think I said anything other than just smile. And it was a reminder then of the fact that sometimes this is really shocking when somebody gives you their opinion on your appearance in a positive frame, and you're so used to not valuing yourself, not seeing your self worth, not looking at yourself from a favorable perspective. It can knock you for six. And what I've noticed when I've talked to my clients about this is that sometimes the knee-jerk response is, "Oh, I've had these shorts for years," or this old thing, I got it from an op shop for $2 or something like that. And we downplay the compliment, and in a way, we throw it back at the person who gave it to us. And that has been my way in to supporting people to start accepting compliments, because it's not only disempowering for you, but it's kind of belittling or judgmental of the person who's giving that compliment. You're kind of saying, well, what do you know? This whole thing, I got it from the op shop for $2. And what I have suggested to people in tackling this is to actually say less. Less is more, right? So if you are struggling, and if it is, say, let's go back to this outfit thing. Say it is an op shop item. Say it is something you've had for years. Say it is something that you actually think is not something that you actually like on you, whatever. You don't have to share that. You don't have to pretend that you love it. You don't have to hide behind and act as if. You can simply say 2 words. Thank you. Thank you. And zip it. And that is the power of language. Less is more. Now, if you want to go down the route of that justification, if you feel tempted to justify it, if thank you seems to cut it too short, maybe add something else about the other person. For example, thank you, I really appreciate your opinion. It's their opinion. Yours is very different. And you may not agree with them, but you can simply thank them, acknowledge it, and say you appreciate it. And that appreciation is the foot in the door to empowering yourself to value yourself more, because it's a positive appreciation of who you are and what you look like, and they are giving you some valuable feedback. The language that we use about ourselves is absolutely the key to changing our view of ourselves and to taking care of ourselves. It's the foundation. And I just can't say it enough. If we cannot speak nicely about ourselves, if we can't accept compliments, we are highly unlikely to take actions towards real physical self-care, such as nutrition, exercise, seeking more joy, engaging with social activities, or whatever else it is. And too often We are pressured by expectations, by posts and Facebook and Instagram that we need to be doing more self-care for our mental well-being. We need to be doing this, that, and the other. And we are struggling to even get done in a day what needs to be done if we've got busy lives, working, families, etc. And we need to start small. And this is why I am suggesting that we focus on something that we're already doing and we just shift our perspective. The shifting the perspective is a challenge because we have these ingrained habits. And that is why, if you can identify a situation that crops up every now and again where you know your stock phrase is this old thing, or oh my God, my hair looks a mess, or oh really, I feel like the back end of a bus, or whatever is your go-to, start there. When someone says something nice about you, thank you, I appreciate your opinion, and leave it at that. And that is the foundation, that's the beginnings. And notice the difference, notice how you feel. Notice how you start to feel about yourself. Because the other really important thing, and somebody talked about this recently, was that awareness. It was a comment on one of my posts recently, and she said she was aware of this. And awareness, you're on the right track. It's when you're blissfully unaware that it's really hard to make different decisions and different choices. So focus on compliments, focus on accepting the compliment. Less is more. Focus on accepting the compliment and turning back to the other person. I appreciate your opinion because it is their opinion, and it's a step towards shifting how you talk about yourself. So that's the start of this challenge. I am going to set something up, I think it needs to be done. Maybe I need to go live daily for a few days with some hints and tips. I've got my checklist, and language is one of those things on the checklist. And the idea behind this checklist was I wanted to create a resource that didn't involve people having to do stuff and then people saying, well, this is too hard, because that's my jam. That's my field, is making things easy at the beginning, making it easy for people to feel successful. So the idea of this checklist was for people to look through it and start changing the way they talk about themselves. They don't have to do anything, they don't have to add in anything else. It's looking at what's happening already in your daily life, because that's the key, building on what's going on already. Have a fantastic Friday, guys. I am going to be sharing these on YouTube because I know I've got some people who are not on Facebook and don't get to see this, and I want to be able to share it with more people. If you know somebody who you feel would benefit from this, share it with them. Don't forget, direct message me if you want a copy of the checklist, and I will send you the link. And I will be starting, I think I'm going to do it. I think I'm just going to jump in. I'm going to make a decision, and I'm going to jump in for, should I do 7 days? Let's try it, 7 days. And I might even try 7 days at 8 o'clock in the morning. Oh my God, I've just said it now, so I have to do it. Yeah, let's do this. And let's start on Monday, because today you've got something to practice over the weekend, and you've got time to share it, and you've got time to map it out. Monday, 8 o'clock, live. Oh my gosh, now I've done it. I haven't even checked my calendar. Let's see what happens. Let's do this. Let's have 7 days to changing the way we talk about ourselves. And let's have 7 days to self-care through the way that we talk about ourselves. And let's see if we can notice a shift. Have a fantastic weekend, guys, and give me some feedback. Pay some compliments to other people and see what happens. That would be fascinating. If somebody does this old thing, then maybe they need to join me on Monday morning with you live. Catch up with you soon, guys. Bye for now.